And it's something that's drilled into us, which is really based on racism, because like most people who have less textured hair are more white. Mm-hmm. Like they still black, but they probably they was the outside slaves.
Welcome to the hottest wellness podcast, I've Got Time, with Cherry ShaKayla.
Here we discuss personal growth, relationships, and healing to become aligned with the best version of ourselves. What's up, Buttercup?
Nothing. Maxing and relaxing, doing what I gotta do, you know. I know I can, you know.
I feel you.
How you doing? How you feeling? What's good?
That's how I feel, honestly. It can't be put into words. Just a heavy sigh.
I feel that 100%. I was just trying to be a little lighthearted for the camera.
Positive.
Yeah.
Listen, one thing you don't have to worry about me is faking the font. Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to get off your chest?
Capitalism can suck it.
Yeah. Anyone elaborate, or was that it? Just a bold statement?
Just a bold statement, you know.
Right. I had a couple things I wanted to get off my chest. I feel like I haven't really got nothing on my chest in a while. I'm proud of me for complaining directly to you and not just the podcast. This week, well, actually last week, I was researching content, and then I seen a TikTok or something. They were talking about where's male birth control at? Mm-hmm. And like, they came through with some statistics. Apparently, 500,000 men in America elect to get what the fuck?
A vasectomy?
Yeah, a vasectomy every year, while almost 1 million abortions are had every year.
You know, a lot of men feel like getting a vasectomy makes them less of a man. But having children doesn't make you a man.
Yeah, it doesn't, especially if you don't take care of them. And
makes you fertile.
It seems like you wasn't planning on taking care of them anyways, since the old girl got an abortion.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like because science is pushed by a masculine energy, there's always going to be an imbalance as far as what medical advancements for, you know, like, what do you call it? Like how you stop having babies? What do you call that again?
Girl. Infertile?
No, that means you can't have a baby. But either way, yeah, it's always not going to be equal, because men are not thinking about they need to be taking something to prevent pregnancy, because they feel like that's our job. Just like women feel like it's men's job to bring a condom to sex, because they the one who have to wear it. It's kind of like one of those things. But I think that that's why it's so important, and representation matters, for us to have more women in these fields, so that they can create conversations that men don't even think of. Like, why? How many of these abortions could be prevented if some of these men were on male birth control? Mm-hmm. And so it's ridiculous. It's a personal thing, like what you said about them having some insecurity related to the fact that they are, what do they say? They be like, I'm not cutting off my manhood. Yeah. Like, girl, your dick is still there. That's not how it works. Get on YouTube. The information is there. That's not what they're doing. Your penis is not being cut off.
It reminds me of that episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Terry was getting a vasectomy.
Oh, yeah.
And he kept saying that he was getting it cut off.
That makes no sense. It's honestly ridiculous. It's a super uninvasive procedure. If a woman go in and get her tubes tied, that's like a real thing. Versus like they get in and get out of there with the vasectomy. And so especially for people who are in long-term relationships or marriages, planning a family together, the best and most convenient thing to do would be for the man to get a vasectomy anyways.
Yeah, because depending on, I guess, the type, it can be reversible.
Yeah, it can be. And like people can reverse getting their tubes tied too, but it's a whole shebang.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
I'm sorry, but
reversing getting your tubes tied. You know, I often refer to it as getting snipped. I know someone that got snipped, a woman.
Not a dog.
Not a dog. And her healing process was also another thing that confirmed, you know what, I'm not even going to attempt to move anything down there. It, like, added to me not wanting kids, because, like, just the idea of everything that happens in the vagina and all the stuff, all the complications, the healing, it was just...
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, pregnancy is a lot. Even not getting pregnant is a lot, because getting your period every month is a reminder that ain't no babies in you. You know?
I'm not mad at that.
I am. You don't even be having one for real. Like, of course you're not mad at it.
I'm saying, like, the reminder.
The reminder is the blood. The tampons that you keep having to purchase.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Either way, I felt like that was just worth discussing, because this is another one of those problems I feel like that are created for women by men. Mm-hmm. And maybe if more education was available to men, then they would be more willing to be on birth control or to even get vasectomies. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because if you had 3 kids and you have your baby at the hospital, they gonna ask you, do you want to get your tubes tied? I don't never see them offering that shit to niggas.
It's like, hey, so while you're here, buddy, you want to do this again?
And it's crazy because a woman can only have one baby every 9 months, but a man, he could get a bitch pregnant every day. Multiple times a day if he wanted to.
That's
Why
scary.
are we the ones that our reproduction is being limited? It honestly don't even make no fucking sense if we're thinking about it. It's like, it really don't make sense the way birth control has been marketed towards women as preteens. Nobody's telling niggas, hey man. You know? They don't have to worry about it.
You want to spread your loins.
Yeah.
Or spread your... What do they call it? Spread your...
Seed?
Is that it? Seed sounds so gross. It sounds biblical.
It don't sound
spread
like
your
Home Depot.
seed. Ew. It's giving blacked.
Mm-hmm. Black. If you know, you know. Sound like you really know.
Shout out Jason Love.
Shout out, I guess. I don't know him, but
before I found out how corny he was on social media, then I was like, oh, why you gotta ruin this for me?
Like most people.
Yeah, liked it better when I didn't know you.
I seen this YouTube video the other day, and it was that girl Elsa. You know her? Mm-mm. She like started getting really famous on TikTok like during the pandemic. She's like a dark-skinned African girl, and like she used to look kind of toe up from the flow up, and now she glowed up. And she used to make those funny videos, and she'll be like laughing like,
yeah, that's my nigga. Shut up.
She was saying that she had like met Naomi Campbell and basically had started hanging out with her, and then Naomi Campbell started telling people that she made her. And it's like, you wouldn't have never even talked to her if she didn't have a social media following or nothing like that. Like, that is so crazy. But then the comments was filled with people saying that's why you should never meet,
Don't meet
your idols. Yeah, your heroes, people that you really care about, because they're real people. And just like if you're getting to know a regular person, after a few months, you're going to start picking up and noticing things that you didn't notice before. They'll be like, they should work on that. Celebrities is people too.
Yeah.
They all got something to work on.
I made you.
But then a lot of comments, people were saying that's Naomi Campbell Steve's though. And that she has a reputation for not being a girl's girl in the industry.
Sounds like the female rap game.
And I said, don't get tired of talking about it, because she'll still talk about it to this day. She met that girl when she was 18 years old. Oh, man. The other thing I wanted to bring up, did you see that Usher, well, everybody know he did the Super Bowl, so then he was on this week's cover of People magazine. Fun fact, I used to be addicted to like gossip blogs and like tabloids. I used to like dead ass have like a subscription and shit to People magazine. I love some good celebrity tea. I could have been one of those tea channels, but I could probably just start getting conscious instead. It's like hard to talk shit about people all day when you're supposed to be a better version of yourself. Minding other people's business for a living. It sounds kind of fun. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It sounds fun until
you get Tasha Cade. Took her for everything she had, baby.
And she's still talking about people.
Still. Crazy. In this article, I didn't read the whole thing. I only read what was like publicized and talked about, so I can't say for sure what was really said based on, except for the little part that was quoted in the like, post of the article. And he was saying how it really broke his heart not being in a relationship with Chili no more, and how he wanted her to just be with him every day, and that was the type of relationship he was looking for, and she didn't believe he really loved her as much as he did. And I was like, you said all this to say what? You told the whole world that you was cheating on this girl up and down, left and right. We do not care that your feelings was hurt by the breakup. Why are you telling us this? And then, I'm sorry, one thing a nigga is going to do is embarrass you. No matter how famous or rich he is. It don't matter if he was just on the Super Bowl performing. It don't matter if he's had the most popular Vegas residency of recent. This nigga just got married a couple days ago. And just last week, there's an article coming about talking about his ex-girlfriend from 20 years ago. Embarrassing. You could have put this in your journal, big boy.
Not big boy.
That's not man activities, honey. This is something that you leave in the group chat that you talk to your big homie about. Maybe your pastor. I don't know. Do not go to People magazine talking about basically the one that got away. Sir, you're embarrassing yourself.
Wow.
Oh, and he said she had too many rules.
See, this is the one thing where I can come in and say, I get that.
So he couldn't just break up with her and move on to a bitch that was willing to go along with what he was on?
That's what he should have done. I'm not denying that.
So 20 years later, come out talking about somebody was so heartbroken by it. I bet she was heartbroken too. She's still probably heartbroken. Every time Confessions come on anywhere, that music still gets played to this day.
You think her friends went to the residency?
Girl, they definitely did. They was like, I'm sorry, girl. Please don't be mad at me. But that was a long time ago.
It was so good.
Shoot. If I was her, I would have been up in that thing.
Imagine if she was one of the people that he'd like dance with.
Sounds about right. Once again, another reason that a nigga will embarrass you. Live on TV. They don't care. Another thing that bothered me because what he said that in really was the demise of their relationship is that he proposed to her and she said no.
Mm-hmm.
And that devastated him. Do you think that if you proposed to me and I said no, you would want to break up with me?
Given the type of relationship that we have, I would question
Why you don't want to get? Why I wouldn't want to get married?
Yeah, like just because of the type of relationship we have, like that means we've been talking about it in depth and all this other stuff. And then if you say no, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, usually when people say no, it is like the latter of what you're saying, that there was never any conversation about it. The person just sprung it up on them. And sometimes I feel like people be proposing to others for manipulative reasons. Like, if y'all never had a conversation about this once and then you just spring it up on them. And that was another thing about it, is that's how I felt about what he was saying, that, you know, she didn't want to just be with him and follow him around and, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if she put that ring on it, then yeah, she gonna have no choice as his wife. And I feel like that's why in my opinion, his relationships after Chili was with people who were not famous. And if they had some popularity, they still wasn't the type of person who would not be following their man around and putting themselves first. And that's the thing. That's a valid quality to look for in a relationship if that's what you need. But it's ultimately really selfish. I had a conversation like this with one of my male friends a while ago. You probably know what I'm talking about. And it was really in regards to dating younger women. And I felt like, why do you want to date a girl and she ain't got her shit figured out of what she want to do yet? So you could tell her what she need to do. And he was like adamant about wanting a woman who decides that once they start having kids, she don't want to work anymore. And that's the thing. There are women like that. You know what I'm saying? I was actually talking to Eva the other day about that. And she was like, why would anybody want to do that? And I was like, I mean, well, Christine stays at home. She enjoys it. She like being at home.
Yeah.
So, you know, different women want different things. But that's the thing, is they be trying to change and manipulate a bitch that don't want that shit to have that lifestyle. Then people get married because that's who they want to be with, but the relationship ultimately is not compatible, and then it's going to end up in divorce anyway. So, crazy.
It got real.
He should let it burn and not ever bring this up again. If I hear Chili out his name one more time, I'm going to personally contact her and ask her what's up with that cease and desist. Keep her name out his mouth. She dating Joey Lawrence now. You know him from the Disney Channel back in the day? Somebody know who I'm talking about. Joey. That was his name. That's his real name, but that was also his name, like, on the show. What show he was on? I don't know, but like him and his brother's famous.
I didn't really watch a lot of Disney shows. I'm learning that the more that I talk to people, like, that would
that
really...
you really didn't. Oh yeah, because the other day when I was talking about That's So Raven,
I never watched that show, but I was never a Raven fan like that. Oh, I know his face, but I don't know him.
Oh wait, maybe she talking to his brother, not him. Oh yeah, that's who she's talking about. Matthew
I know him.
Lawrence. Yeah, they brothers.
That's crazy. Well,
what show he was on?
Boy Meets World.
Oh, Boy Meets World, but that's not what I'm talking about though.
It's Boy Meets World.
He was on a bunch of shit though, but yeah, he was playing the brother on Boy Meets World. Yeah, or the brother's best friend, that like goofy one or something. I don't remember, but anyways, y'all know who that nigga is. So yeah, I feel like that's what happened. As soon as you move on with your life and it's like public that you happy in a new relationship, that's what niggas, they might not directly hit you up, but then they start talking to you, talking about you to mutual friends, and like, you moved on with your life. Please leave people alone.
Said, if I can't have you, no one can.
Sure. You want to get into the affirmation of the week?
Affirm us.
This week's affirmation is, I communicate clearly and listen proactively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
You are actually a very clear communicator.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes I misunderstand you, but it's because I'm listening through a filter, not because you're saying anything that's not clear. Yeah.
I get that. I do that too.
I say stuff all the time that I don't mean. Like, I meant what I said, but it wasn't those words that I meant to say. I meant to say those words, but it didn't mean what those words meant. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what this whole episode about, so I hope you know what I'm talking about. What are we discussing this week, baby?
This week, we're talking about clear communication and words mean things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We talked about this before because we actually have did quite a few episodes on, healthy communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We talked about communication styles. We talked about, I feel like a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But last week we were talking, and I'm trying to think what it had inspired me, and I was like, we should talk about this on the podcast. Remember I had brought it up to you? What was it? It was like something was said, and I was like, words mean things.
I don't know. But
either way, it made me think about the type of communicator I am, how sometimes people perceive the way that I communicate, or how I'm perceiving what other people are saying, and also the fact that sometimes I be saying shit that I meant to say what I said, but I didn't know that it was gonna mean what it meant to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it that time.
Yeah, like I didn't know how they was gonna receive it. So I think ultimately it comes down because we think that definition and meaning is the same thing, and it's not.
This is where I get confused.
So to me it's the words, the definition of what is this word defined as, but the meaning is, what does this word mean? And I don't think we stop to realize that those are two different things. It's kind of like, to me, similar to etymology, which is like the study of root words, or like the actual context of a word, like throughout history. So like even though, the origin of it. So it's like, the word might blatantly be saying this, but generally we know that's not really what it means in society.
Care to give an example?
One of the ones that aggravate me the most of late, because I will say not a lot of this bothers me because I'm not a good listener in the first place. But sure.
Yeah, I don't like when people say sure.
Sure. Did I rub off on you? About bringing it up?
No, I think I kind of always been like that. Just because sure is like, it sounds like you don't really want to do it.
Right. Even though the definition of the word is being certain.
That's crazy.
It's like literally the complete reverse. And that's called a contronym. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing.
It's like the tone people be saying it. Or like, sometimes just the placement of certain words. Like, I ask you something, and it's like, that's where you chose to say sure. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you dirty bitch.
And we know what it means because we use it all the time, even in joking text. Like how you say, sure, Jan, you're literally mean like, I don't believe shit you're saying out your mouth.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. That clip is still funny for that show to be so old, though. I used to love the Brady Bunch. I ain't gonna lie. For them to be a white family back in the day before I didn't... I don't even know what to say, but
entertain white media.
Pretty much.
You gotta really say the H. White.
In a couple of years, they're gonna be censoring it out. It's gonna be like white beep. Like every time somebody say the word white, it's gonna be a beep. That's how they be on fucking TikTok, and that's why people started spelling it YT. It's like so annoying because sometimes you got to really read the context of a situation because you don't know if they're saying whites or YouTube.
You know what? Did I tell you one day recently I was at work and I was writing the description of something down? I was describing somebody and I put YT and then I was trying to translate it to my supervisor. And I was wondering, like, I don't think I said it. Or did I say it? I might have said it, but I was still like, here, read the description I wrote down. I was like, I wonder if she's offended by that.
I feel like, why? There is no racial or traumatic context behind the word white. There is not even a bad thought that comes to your mind in an unconscious way when you hear the word white, because white, they did it on purpose by making the word be something that is pure, something that is more attractive, something that is supposed to be more angelic. Like there's no negative connotations even with it. So for somebody to go around acting offended by that, pick a real problem and call me back.
Don't call me back.
Because no white people are being impacted negatively by us spelling out YT instead of us saying white. And once again, we wouldn't have to do that if we weren't being censored on social media platforms when we have conversations to hold this specific group of people accountable. We wouldn't even have to change the spelling of it. That's honestly quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like how people spell sex, SEGGS. Now segs.
I think that's hilarious.
But it's like we had to adapt to that because otherwise the actual word gets, your video will be flagged. Why is our content being flagged by saying white? Come on now. Not y'all really being racist.
I got my rights. You know where I get that from?
What?
Bad Boys 2.
Oh, that remind me of
stuffing
Bonnie.
the dude in the trunk. I got my rights.
Boy, she always telling her kids, as an American, that's your right. What? It's even funnier because her kids is like 5 and 4.
They gonna be saying that to people.
What? You know Nova is, bro. All she need is 1 minute for a comeback. Some of these words that are like contronyms is like strike. Like if you bowling, you might get a strike, which means you knock down all the pins. If somebody strike you, that means your ass just got knocked the fuck out. Well, I mean, not every time, I guess. It depends on the force behind.
You struck me.
Sorry, I really don't mean to laugh at that. Like, abuse is funny, because I wasn't saying it like in a, domestic violence type of way. I was just saying it like in a square
thinking like a street fight.
Yeah. But I just wanted to be, like, because sometimes people take shit out of context. So.
Yeah.
Also, bound is like, you could be bound to do something, like you're
making your way downtown.
Right.
Walking fast. I'll stop.
I was waiting for you to continue.
Faces passing. You're homebound.
You might as well get to the part that connects to the conversation. Also, but you could be bound, which is like being tied down or feeling stuck. Mm-hmm. Which is two opposite meanings, like freedom versus the opposite. Interesting.
To freedom.
That's never not gonna be funny. I'm sorry. Because do you think Harriet Tubman? Hold on.
Hold on. Can we just insert sound here? I gotta find it.
Why do you have it available readily? What the fuck?
Because it's one of my favorite sounds ever. Let me just...
You think Harriet Tubman was walking around with a fucking nice shiny fucking dress on with a fucking crown on her head when she was taking slaves? To freedom!
Who's on the board? Who's on the soundboard? Because
it was her.
Shut up. She said, to freedom? That's too much, Nikki.
That was when she was doing her show on Apple.
I know, and she still will do an impromptu show. I'm surprised she didn't do a live concert yet over there of her new disc. I don't know.
Well, she was live streaming that, but I can't remember what platform she was doing a radio show on now. I want to say Amazon or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but she's not doing it on Apple no more.
Well, speaking of Black History, though, I was scrolling through social media like I do, mm-hmm. Trying to find a good geek, because that's all you need in your day to brighten it up. It's a nice little jokey joke. Mm-hmm. And somebody said, wait a minute, Rosa Parks' nigga had a car? Her husband had a motor vehicle and she was boycotting a bus, but...
Was she married for real?
I did not look up any fact checking behind it. I just thought it was actually fucking hilarious just to think about it, because like this sounds like some shit on Black Lady Sketch Show. Like this is genuinely a funny ass fucking sketch. Just imagine. And this is only for Black people to joke about, because we don't want to hear about non-Black people joking or even trying to allude to the Black history not being real. That's for us to find out and discuss, not y'all.
Just for history fact, though, that was a reenactment of that happening to another Black woman. They had to put a Black woman in place that was more presentable for the activism.
For the cause. Mm-hmm. I feel like you should be blatant and say what that means, which is colorism. Mm-hmm. And... no shade to Rosa. She did what she did, and that was her big one, you know what I'm saying? She was locked up like Akon, but I feel like it's important when we do have conversations like that, because Black history hyper-focused on certain individuals when the cause was so big and so huge and so many people being involved and also being locked up and, all the shit that they was dealing with during the civil rights movement, like, you know what I'm saying? And the bus boycott in general, like. Yeah. She's not the only one in my genetic voice.
You think he had like a flashy car?
I don't know, but when he was pulling up at the bus stop, he was like, "Can I call you Rose?" It's my favorite song right now.
That's perfect.
Oh my god.
We writing that sketch. We about to start inserting sketches like, oh my god, the skits that used to be on the podcast.
Bruh. Is there some other examples you could think of that you feel like either when you communicating or like when other people are talking to you and you're like, that's not what that means? Or do you sometimes are even triggered by something that somebody's saying and you like, even though they mean something different, that's not how you receive it?
Yes and yes.
Both of them.
So, I often find myself translating in my mind what somebody means versus the words that they're saying. Mm. It gets frustrating sometimes, but I came to the conclusion a long time ago that a lot of the time people don't know what the words mean that they're saying.
100%.
So
I'm guilty. Sometimes I be hearing words and I'm be like, I'm gonna put that into my vocabulary. I'm just gonna slide that in.
Not even gonna look it up.
Well,
I mean, you can get.
I look up words all the time. Actually, that's one of my favorite things right now, and I plan on including it in my new content on my channel is talking about, words, like a keyword every week or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it is important to expand your vocabulary, because the more higher positions you're in, the more affluent spaces that you're in, people be talking more properly. They be having more expansive vocabulary. If you don't know what the fuck they be talking about, you sitting there Googling shit off to the side. It's like, what does that mean? Honestly, even watching TV and movies, you learn a lot of words that you didn't know before.
Yeah.
Or even slang. Be like, this means that. Like, oh.
Yeah. But that happens all the time. I'm always translating in my mind what people are actually saying. And what was the other thing?
About you being triggered and maybe like they saying one thing, but that's really not what you're hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. That's when I go cry to myself, and then I have to pull myself together like, okay, that's not what they meant.
That remind me on the Sims when they be crying under the covers.
Oh, I cry under the covers sometimes. It's kind of inconvenient though, because then you get your pillow wet with your tears. You start sweating because it get hot in there and you crying.
Yeah, I'm not a cry lay down person. I know a lot of people that cry in the shower though, but that's also not my steez, because I'm trying to relax. I don't want to be in there. Like, no, what the fuck?
Washing yourself with your tears.
Imagine if you got a mirror in the shower, you just like...
That is crazy. I never understood crying in front of the mirror. That makes me stop immediately. Because I just look at myself like, girl, what are you doing?
It's even like you start feeling stupid. Like,
why are you crying? Look at you.
Look at you and look at you.
Like, who invited Kim K to the party?
Girl, I'm not going to lie to you, because some people really do got that Kim K cry face. I'm one of them. And that's why I don't like to cry, because as soon as I start crying, it's me trying to hold back the cry. And then my face start doing that weird thing that look like you got your wisdom teeth pulled out. You know what I'm talking about, where your mouth just be screwed up, like, what? How come you can't feel your face and all of a sudden your shit's doing things it never did before? Like, what?
That is crazy.
Yeah. So, I really don't like that. Like, everybody's not a cute crier. It's like, if I'm not doing one of these little tissue dabs in the corner, you won't catch me crying.
Shout out to SZA. I just saw a clip from one of her acceptance speeches. She was like, I'm not an attractive crier. You guys have a good night.
Felt. That's hilarious. It's like, sometimes I can't hold back a cry, and it's like my face is not crying, just my eyes. And that's even more frustrating, low-key, because it'd be like, why are you getting so emotional? And you could feel your eyes just like welling up with the tear, and it's only a matter of time before several of them start streaming down your cheeks. I fucking hate that.
That sounds like a mad cry. Like when you be so pissed off and then you just start crying. It's like, man, but you crying, so it's like, are you mad? Are you okay?
I need to know. Let us know in the comments below. What type of crier are you?
I'm all of the above.
It depends on the situation.
It all depends.
Ooh.
The silent cry is really what takes me out, though. If I gotta be quiet and cry, for some reason, that make me cry harder.
No. How do you cry silently? Is it like when you try to suppress your cry, like...
Nah, it's that cry.
It's that you just got spanked cry. That's the I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Ugh. That was not a nice flashback.
How many whoopings you got? Like 3?
I mean...
Shut your ass up. Tell me that wasn't a nice flashback.
It wasn't a nice time.
I'm just kidding. Regardless, any level of abuse that you have experienced is valid. It doesn't, like... Say if somebody got 20 whoopings a day, that doesn't make your 3 whoopings of your lifetime less impactful for you.
I don't even like that sentence.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't want people to think that I'm being funny with you, but lately I just been really thinking about how people perceive me. I think that's why I'm like explaining myself right now.
Fuck y'all. If you don't like it, you can get out.
Another one that kind of slightly bothers me, and we get into it with this about every other day, but it's not like a serious thing. It's just like, if like, say if you ask somebody like, do you want me to do it for you, and they'd be like, if you want to. Like, you know what, actually no, I'm not, I don't want to.
Dang.
And it's like, it's not that you don't want to, though. It's just like they're trying to talk you out of doing something nice for them. And I fucking hate that shit. Like, just say, yeah. Why do you feel like you don't deserve for me to do this thing for you? And it's extremely crazy because Cherry is extremely accommodating person. Like, you always think about other people are like so helpful. Like, you give me a million things if I want it. And then when I ask you, can I do something for you? You be like, if you want to.
This voice.
Or they say, like, you don't have to. You be like, I know I don't have to do it. I'm offering it to you. I guess at this point I should just stop asking and just do it.
That might be the best route.
Yeah. That might be it.
Because it feels like I'm inconveniencing you.
You're not, or else I wouldn't have offered. I'm not. Well, that's a lie. I'm a little bit still people pleasy, but for the most part, I'm not gonna offer to do something, and if I really don't want to do it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect that about you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh. Sometimes I feel like it's a bad thing. But
well. Depends on what it is.
Yeah. Something else that I thought of, and I feel like it's not something that people really think of when they think about this, but it is one of those things about, what did you mean by that? Is good hair. When people say, oh, she got good hair.
Wait, real quick. Just to go back to, if you want to, the other side of that is like, I'm about to chill and watch TV. Oh, you want me to come over? If you want to.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
do you want me over there or not?
I feel like that's low-key on both people in that space of communication, because you could be more direct, I guess, in stating that you're doing something or wanting to do something. Mm-hmm. And then the other person could be more clear in if they would like you to or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's both people are being bad communicators. Because just say it with your chest. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to come over there. Like, stop being a pussy.
I'm trying to be your halftime show.
Sounds like you could use some company. Girl, you don't pack that overnight bag. Let's spend a night. And if you're a lesbian, your backpack.
Still a spend a night bag.
When Monty come visit, I really need her to be on a podcast again so she could tell that story about the backpack.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell it because the way Monty tell it is extremely hilarious. Mm-hmm. And it's her story to tell, but I'm still laughing about it. Every time I think about it, it's hilarious.
Good hair.
Yeah, good hair. I feel like I grew up hearing a lot of people say that. Not just like in real life, but also like TV, movies. It's like in the black community, having a loose texture is known as having good hair. Mm-hmm. And it's something that's drilled into us, which is really based on racism, because like most people who have less textured hair are more white. Mm-hmm. Like, they still black, but they probably they was the outside slaves. I mean, well, I don't know, because like, was inside slaves getting more abuse than outside slaves?
Probably.
Well, maybe they was inside slaves.
You in here 24 hours. Massa got needs.
Oh my God. It's kind of hard to think about sometimes and thinking about who I would be during that time based off of who I am now. Like living in that would make you be a whole different person. Like way less assertive, way less like, girl, fuck you, way less. I can't imagine being my personality type, like quitting a job in 2 seconds, but like literally not being able to walk off a cotton farm. Like, can you imagine being fed up for the day, but ain't nothing you can do about it? It's funny crazy. Now, but like, it's really not funny.
Yeah.
I was talking to Eva the other day, and you know, we talk about black shit all the time, but especially because it's Black History Month, we're talking about stuff a lot more because they're talking about stuff in school and shit need to be cleared up because
they're lying to
they don't have any black teachers. And so there's no black lens on these facts or experiences. It's just what white people hear from growing up or what they learned in school, and it's not always the most accurate information and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, what song did she say was supposed to be the perfect black song?
Dang, what was the song?
It wasn't even Lift Every Voice. I said, what is this?
Damn, I can't think of it right now.
Girl, whatever it was about struggling and overcoming.
It was like...
Was it We Shall Overcome?
Nah.
Hate that one too.
Dang, I really can't think of it right now. That's crazy.
It's good.
It's a song everybody knows, but one of her white teachers told her that it was the perfect song for Black History Month.
Like, at that, the music teacher.
Yeah, and I had to let her know, like, that song is not for Black History Month. Like, this is just a black song, and...
You know, since you said to her, I've been low-key thinking about emailing her music teacher, and not from, like, a aggressive place, even though sometimes that's how people are going to take it anyways, just because you're black. But I do think that there should be safe spaces for black people to correct stuff, because this ain't... Eva's class ain't his first class that he teaching black stuff to or talking black stuff about, and I feel like that's awesome that you are incorporating this into your music lessons, but there's a better way that you could be doing this. Maybe you should reach out to black people who are actually in music before you say this is the perfect black song. Like, and then the majority of them kids in her class is white, so they really receiving that. They don't have parents to go to at home to say, girl, no.
Yeah.
So that frustrates me. You know, as a parent and also as a black person. But back to good hair. That's something that I feel like, for me, I don't have a very coarse texture hair. Like, I think my hair is probably like a 3B or something / 3A, depending on what part of my scalp you're looking in. But people who have more texture hair, that's supposed to be not the good hair. But it honestly don't make sense, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the way that my hair is, like the density, the strength of it, it's gonna fall out in 2.5 seconds no matter what I'm doing to it. And the thicker, the stronger your hair is, the more textured your hair is, to me, that's the good hair.
Yeah.
Like, they can literally do anything they want to their hair and it'll still be healthy. Like, their hair literally defies gravity. And I feel like that's just something that the language definitely needs to be corrected around that, because let's be honest, nobody want that stringy ass noodle Cynthia piece of bullshit that y'all be wearing on y'all scalp trying to convince us that it's the best hair.
We'll see.
And honestly, what you about to say?
I feel like for black people, it's more about if you got soft curly hair versus more straight. Because I remember my grandmother was one of those black people that she'd see a light-skinned person with pretty hair, and that's like the first thing she notices, like, oh, you got some pretty hair. It's like, damn, grandma, I'm right here.
And that's the thing, though. We're different. I feel like our generation is a lot different than the way that we approach hair care, and talking to our children about different hair textures and stuff. Like, Eva does not have textured hair. She got loose curls sometimes. When she get out the shower and first watch it, her hair is curly. But, you know, I have a lot of conversations with her. Even though her hair is not the most textured, she still feel insecure about her hair because we live in a predominantly white area.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on you and where you at. We all have bad hair days a lot of the times. And then here we are, like, you know, criticizing ourselves and stuff based off of, like, what we're perceiving other people's hair journey to be, and we all got our own problems. Like, for people that hair is more textured, they probably have more to do as far as like detangling their hair and like deep conditioning and making sure it's like stay oiled and all that stuff, versus somebody who doesn't have as much textured hair. They could probably go more time, you know, between doing certain stuff, but their shit's flat as a pancake. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no volume, no bounce to the curl. Just flat. So we all got our own thing.
Yeah.
Every time I'm wearing like an afro, I get the most compliments. Not only just from black people, but from other people of other races and ethnicities as well. It's very interesting.
People love natural hair on black girls.
They love it. It's very
so
fetishy.
sick.
Yeah, something about it feels not
It's like
right.
you'd rape this slave, huh?
As quiet as it's kept. That's what it feels like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like that shit when people be trying to make a big deal about hair in general when we all got hair all over our bodies. Like,
yeah.
And just like I wish my hair was more thick. Somebody who got thicker hair wish it wasn't that thick. You know what I'm saying? They probably feel like thinner hair is more manageable. So, here's what it is. But that's one of those things that I feel like, girl.
Yeah. Everybody wants what they don't have. Or what they think they don't have.
Is there any specific words you could think of? It'd be like, yeah, no, that's not what that means.
Nah.
Well, you had brought up to me, no problem.
Oh, yeah. When people say no problem.
Do they really not have a problem?
I think it depends. When I say no problem, I mean, this was not a problem for me to do this. It was not an inconvenience. But sometimes, this is one of those things where it depends on your tone and it depends on your placement. Especially if it's somebody that, like, you never heard this person say no problem before. Now it's no problem. Mm-hmm. It's like, what's wrong with you?
It's not a problem. That's definitely something I feel like that should be kept in mind when communicating, is like, it's not just about what you say, it's also how you say it. Your body language is also part of communication. So you could very much be saying, yes, I want to, but your body language could be saying, no, I don't. Like, your arms could be crossed. You could be closed off. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it really just depends. All of that should be considered of like how people are receiving what it is that you're saying.
That happens to me at work. But I think
that's just to me, that's the black lens. You know how people be saying they be having a rose colored lens on? People be wearing a black lens. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like when you communicate with a lot of people, and sometimes even black people, as a black woman, they're automatically hearing whatever you say through this black lens. So I could say, like, I dealt with this all the time at my old job. One time I was like, somebody had tasked me to like put in the info for this flyer that we put out every month with like the deals and stuff, and apparently that was this lady's job. Okay, but well, I wasn't just doing it cause somebody had told me to do it. So I had like she had brought some of the forms in the front, and I was like, oh, I was just printing these out. And she was like, oh, we'll just use these ones or something or whatever. And then I had looked at the paper that she handed me and it had a typo on it. And so I told her like, oh, it's a typo on here. And I just said it just like that. It's a typo on here. Mm-hmm. And she tried to make it seem like once she did it on purpose or whatever. And then instead of like directly telling me like, oh, this is my job, you don't have to worry about this for your future reference, she instead went to go talk to both of our boss about it. And then my boss talked to the manager about it, and the manager came to me and she was like, you know, just for future reference, like you have to blah blah blah. And then that was that one day where I ended up crying in my car because I was so fucking mad. Mm-hmm. And it was like, girl, you could have literally directly just said to me like, hey, don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. And then she made it seem like I was being aggressive towards her when I told her she made a typo. Like, white women do not like to be corrected by black women. So no matter what I say to her, she's got this black lens saying that I'm being aggressive, mm-hmm. that I'm, you know, demanding, that I'm telling her what to do. And that's really not the case. You're just racist. And a lot of that is also, you know, like, reverse racism ain't the word, but like, what is it when you like racist against your own self, like you black and you racist?
Like self-hate?
Yeah, self-hate. Mm-hmm. So like, even sometimes I catch myself communicating with other black women or watching a situation mm-hmm. with other black women, and it's like, you hear what people say growing up in your head, like, oh, they always got an attitude, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, black women don't be always having an attitude, but when we communicate about something that we are not okay with, and mm-hmm. we do so in an assertive manner, now we have attitude. Or we're not walking around smiling all day for 25 hours, and so that means that we have attitude. Yeah. That means we're not a team player.
Racism.
I did want to bring up even the way that we communicate with ourselves, and how sometimes we say things to ourselves but that's not what we mean. And a lot of it is like, oh, you're manifesting in your life because you haven't changed your language around things. And I'm like extremely guilty because I say certain slang. Like, I'll be like, I'm dead, I'm weak. Or even when people say like, oh, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just manifesting more of that in your life because you're literally stating like, this is what I am. To yourself and to the universe. Like, you're affirming it. But, you know what I'm saying? You have to be more careful. One thing I was thinking about is like, when people say like, oh, I could be doing more, and in your mind you think that what you're doing is not enough, so you're saying you could be doing more, but the truth is you can't do more. You literally don't have the capacity to do nothing else.
Yeah.
And what you should say is, I could be doing it better. Like, maybe if actually you was doing less, you would have the capacity to do what you're doing better.
Message.
I'm gonna watch this back like, girl, shut up. Nobody asked you. Oh, Everest commercial head ass.
You sitting on the couch anyway.
And then there's like, I guess, or maybe. It's like, you tell people maybe, you know that shit means no. And even kids know it, because if you tell them maybe, they be like, so that
no.
means, exactly. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know that it really does have an alternative meaning to like what you're saying or whatever.
I used to be the queen of maybe back in the day.
I'm glad you're not the queen of maybe no more. Stand on business. Mean what you say and say what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, by the way, sometimes communicating, it requires you to have repetitive conversations. It can be frustrating, but it's always the niggas that need to communicate the most that find it frustrating to keep having conversations. Like cheaters. They be like, I don't want to talk about this. How many times are we going to bring this up? This happened 5 years ago. Every time this happened, you got to bring this up. And it's like, because they're not over it. So need to have more conversations about it. Like,
I cheated on you last week, Keisha. I'm not doing that shit no more.
Everybody else getting cheated on, you the only one. Like, come on, man.
It's like, why can't you just get over it?
Yeah. But that happens all the time. Even like, say when you communicate your boundaries, you could be like, you could say something to somebody and you think that you have to say it one time and that's supposed to mean it's a firm boundary. No, you have to communicate it every time so that they know. Like, not just out of the blue, but like when they start to cross the boundary. Like, don't be crazy. Yeah. Like, before you come over here, let me just tell you. You know what I'm saying?
In the middle of brunch. And you know what? Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Y'all gotta chill. It doesn't mean that you failed in communication because you have to repeat yourself multiple times. It doesn't mean that they don't understand you. It doesn't mean that you're not communicating clearly enough. It just means that they need more from the conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? To feel at peace with whatever the interaction is. Like, sometimes you just need to talk about it a bunch of times. Like, sometimes I get pissed off by something and I genuinely don't feel better until I talk to like 10 of my friends about it. Like, to vent or complain. You know what I'm saying? That. Like, whew. Yeah, now I can finally stop talking about this. Or even just like get it off. Like, I can finally put it to rest once I talk about it on the podcast. I don't have to keep bringing it up. Because it's like, I feel like enough people heard it. Somebody's going to get this message.
The whole world.
Whole world in his hands. I was thinking that earlier when you was, for some reason, thinking about what that song was, and that song was coming to me. I was like, I know it ain't that. That's not racist.
Wait, what?
You know that song, He Got the Whole World in His Hands? It's like the first song they teach every kid in Bible study.
This is the only gospel song that you took away?
What you talking about?
From church?
No, that's not what I'm saying. When we were trying to think of what the song was that Eva's teacher had said was so good. That's the song that was started playing in my head.
He's got all the races in his
Ooh. Yeah.
Yikes.
At the end of the day, being a good communicator is just really about being mindful of what you're saying, what it actually means, and being self-aware, but also really being intentional. I feel like
being tactful with your communication, because you can say something and you're just being honest, but there's a way to be honest. There's a tactful way. There's a time and place. You can't just be out here telling it like it is. And it's like, well, that wasn't really the time to say this. Yeah.
People be knowing too. They just be trying to give some shock the fact or maybe be the drama. Like, you know when it's not the best time to communicate something. Sometimes people wait until you communicated something and be like, well, by the way, like, girl, that happened 6 years ago. Don't bring it up now. You out of luck.
That one time when you kicked my dog.
Not kicked the dog, honey.
It was an accident.
Girl, you accidentally kick a dog. What the fuck?
You know how dogs be running.
Did you really kick somebody's dog?
No, I'm joking. But while we're on the topic, you know how dogs be running directly in front of your feet? And like, if you're carrying something and you can't see them, you might accidentally...
That makes sense if you like just walking and you don't see them. But it sounded like you were blatantly just like, yeah. Like, yeah, trick, yeah. I miss Soulja Boy.
He ain't go nowhere.
I miss the quality of Soulja Boy we was getting when I was like in 11th grade.
I'm not gonna lie. 2011 Soulja Boy, I was still tuning into the mixtapes. Skinny niggas running shit.
I don't know that.
Hating on me. That was a bop.
Nah, my favorite Soulja Boy was when him and Bow Wow started collab. Gucci bandana, Gucci bandana. Yeah. Hey, love it. Yeah. He was giving the girls what they needed.
The hits.
Yeah. What I was about to say. you have to care about other people to be a good communicator. And you have to care about yourself to be a good communicator with yourself. Like, if you care enough, then you will work on changing the language of what you're saying to yourself and what you're saying to other people, or how they could possibly feel as a result of what you said. Because I don't want to say you made them feel a way, but people do have feelings after we communicate with them. And it doesn't mean that you necessarily made them feel something, but they feel something because of what, as a result of what you said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people may not remember what you did or what you said, but they always remember how it felt when that happened. And so that's what you should be mindful of. I feel like should be at the center of your mind when you go to communicate with people, especially if it's a difficult conversation. Like, how would I receive what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, were you talking negatively to yourself? Like, I try and have to remember to myself, would I say this to anybody else? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I would never say that to anybody else. And here I am talking to myself so badly. It's like, girl, get it together.
Yeah, I be having to do that with my mom.
What do you mean, like?
Because she'll, like, say something negative about herself.
Oh.
And I have to be like, would you say that to me? She'd be like, no, I would never say that to you. I'm like, so...
Yeah. It's hard, though. It's a hard pattern to break out of because, I mean, like we say, a lot of our inner voice is really the voice that we heard growing up. And so, like, that becomes what we think of ourselves and, like, what we truly believe. And until you believe something different, that's always going to be the stuff that keep popping up. So you have to force yourself to believe something different. And it really do start with language. You know what I'm saying? If you keep saying it enough, you'll believe it. That's how affirmations work.
Yeah.
You want to slide into mental matters?
I feel like I haven't sung this in a while.
We like the Mad Hatter. Wait, no, the bunny. The Mad Hatter is somebody else. What's the White Rabbit? From Alice in Wonderland. He's like, I'm late.
I've never seen Alice in Wonderland.
I feel like people who grew up watching Alice in Wonderland, now they're like stoners and they experiment with psychedelics. Because, like, literally the whole movie, she on a trip. I don't care what nobody says. She literally took a shroom and fell asleep. I don't care what anybody says. Because, girl, what? She getting big. She getting small. She might be off some salvia. I don't know. To me, that's not normal.
Mental health matter.
Anyways, we should watch it, though. We should watch it with the kids. But now I'm thinking, should we watch the original Alice in Wonderland, the cartoon? We should watch that one because honestly, that is the best one. But the one with Johnny Depp is good because he plays a really good Mad Hatter. Shout out to Johnny Depp, as long as he really didn't do what he did to Amber Heard or what they said he did.
Yeah, shout out.
Because
Jack
Sparrow. Yeah. He is amazing at really taking on a new character. Like, I remember the first time I seen Johnny Depp in a movie, it was Edward Scissorhands. And that was like, that movie captivated me. Like, from that movie, I really started loving him and Winona Ryder. I was like, oh my God, they're so cool.
Yeah.
Like,
icons, honestly.
I want to watch that movie. We haven't seen it. I know my kids haven't seen it.
That would scare them.
It's low-key like The Grinch That Stole Christmas, but a realistic version. You know what I mean?
I don't really remember the plot of the movie.
Basically, he was living somewhere out the way because people thought he was not normal. He met this family and they was like, just come and live with us, basically. And then he started actually really enjoying who he is as a person instead of it being like him having scissor hands being bad. Mm-hmm. Like, he was fucking doing all type of what's that called? What is it called when they like shape plants and stuff?
Is that landscaping or is that...
It is landscaping, but it's like a specific thing that is called...
like sculpting or...
No. I'm really pissed off.
Shaving?
No, it's a word for it, like, because it's technically like an art. Either way, he was doing that, like, and then he started cutting girls' hair in town, and they was like rocking all these different like alternative hairs and shit, and like everybody started loving him just because he decided to finally just be who he was, where before other people was afraid of him. Mm-hmm. It was low-key also giving Beauty and the Beast. I don't know.
Didn't it end tragically though? Like, didn't something happen and people started being scared of him again?
Yeah, I can't remember though. Because I honestly haven't seen that movie in years. But I do remember we used to watch it all the time when I was a kid. That was
all the time?
A fave.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good movie, man. Edward Scissorhands. Love it.
It is a good movie.
I like white movies when people are just being white. You know?
Yeah.
I don't like that when white people be doing dry comedy, though. Because something about that feels racist. This week for Mental Health Matters, we kind of want to encourage you guys to, when you're communicating, especially in situations where you start to feel triggered, if you don't know that you're feeling triggered, you may be reacting or responding from the filter of whatever event that you experience. You know what I'm saying? So, say like people have been cheated on several times. They get into a relationship, and although their new partner may not be cheating on them, everything that their person says or does is listen to this filter of they might be cheating. So they kind of like are looking for it and waiting for it to happen, and like, could they possibly be cheating if they're doing this, and the person like literally not doing that. So shit like that. It's like, what filter am I responding from? It's easier said than done, because when you trigger it, you immediately want to just be like, you know,
yeah,
girl, fuck you. But sometimes it be like emotional reasoning. Emotionally, you are connected not to this moment, but to another moment that this moment is reminding you of, which is essentially PTSD. And now, you know what I'm saying, you cussing out this lady, and you really actually just misinterpreted whatever she said through this lens of past situations you had. You know what I'm saying? And it's not healthy. Like, you gotta heal that.
Yeah.
You have to go in deep and say, like, why do this make me so mad? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like, just trying to find a deeper meaning to it. Because sometimes we be reacting, and the reaction be bigger than what happened, and that's how you know, like, you're triggered, and that it's not about what's happening in the moment. Like, for me personally, road rage, to me, that's like where I get my best anger off, because like, I'm not that mad about getting cut off in a parking lot or whatever. Yeah. But now I could take off whatever frustration I had out the day, just be like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't have road rage. I just love a good cuss out.
That's crazy, because I never hear you talking like that to people.
I control it when there's other people in the car. Mm-hmm. It's really if I'm in the car by myself, or if I'm like talking to Twan while I'm driving or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, I feel relaxed enough, and like I won't scare anybody.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I be going off. I be like, bitch, what the fuck? That was the wrong way. It ain't your turn. I be going off.
I just start roasting people.
Look at somebody out the window, like, do you know what you did?
Nah, I don't be looking at people. I don't want them to look back, and then we got a stare contest. And
girl, not a stare.
Now I gotta pull my gut out. Like, what you looking at? You know?
Yeah. I feel like to preserve your mental health, it's important in situations where you find yourself triggered, or you're in a situation where you feel like you communicated healthily, but the other person definitely is not receiving it, at least the way that you intended. It's like, okay, girl, you need to take a step back and think about, are you really saying what you mean and meaning what you're saying? And if somebody's doing something that's got you all riled up, your inner peace is your responsibility. And that's why I started adapting that somebody can't make me feel something. Because then I'm giving them control of me. Mm-hmm. If they can make me feel something. Like, sure, something can happen. And like I said, as a result, I could be sad because somebody did something. And I felt sad when they did that. But they didn't make me feel sad. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to take responsibility for your emotions. And make yourself be in a peaceful state. Find healthy coping mechanisms and shit.
Yeah.
Like, not giving energy to situations where people are choosing to misunderstand you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's... You can always cut a conversation real quick when you feel like you're over-explaining yourself to somebody, but they're still choosing to totally disregard whatever you're saying. Like, they're never gonna understand what you're saying or be on the same page as you, and you are literally fucking wasting your energy.
Yeah.
And when you think about, like, what are you giving your energy to? Like, I try and ask myself, like, what I'm giving my energy to, is this in alignment with whatever goal I'm trying to reach? Or is this a distraction from that goal? Yeah. Like, what I was talking about how I was putting so much energy into talking about Beyonce being a capitalist and how much it was pissing me off and stuff, and it was like, girl, is this solving any of your problems? It's fucking not. And like, yeah, it's nice to talk about it so we can have social awareness about certain things, but like, for the way that I was like really going in on it all the time and constantly like getting triggered, it's like, that's my fault. Like, Beyonce's not making me do this. It's like those crazy girls that be like, see what you made me did? After they like slashed your tires or something.
What the fuck?
Like,
you ever slashed somebody's tires before?
Absolutely not. I don't believe in disrespecting and harming people's property. One, because I'd be really pissed if somebody did that to me like blatantly. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what my retaliation would be. So that's not just something I just do. Like, leave people shit alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that serious. When I was married, I used to always want to break my kid's dad game, though. I never did it, but I always wanted to. I always wanted to be one of those ladies on Facebook that was like, just fucking...
Finally snapped.
Yeah. I seen
Threw it out the window.
I don't know if this was real, a dream, a video, or a skit, but I know recently I seen this girl had like took a hammer or something to this dude's TV while he was in the middle of playing the game. No, it was a real video. It wasn't a dream. It was a real video. And she was like, basically, are you texting bitches? He was cheating on her.
TV, though.
And had the nerve to be playing games on top of that. She said, you won't play another video game in this house.
Well, I mean,
to the other bitch to buy you a PS5.
She smashed the TV or she smashed the game?
She smashed the TV.
Oh, girl.
But I don't know if she had smashed the game too. I don't know. I can't remember.
TV is light work.
It was just like so sad to have somebody out of her hookup that much. Like, girl, leave that nigga alone. He got you breaking TVs.
Yeah.
Stop.
You gotta go. You gotta get out of there, girl.
Like, come on. Protect your peace. Do something. I'm like, this is not a solution-oriented behavior, baby.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Well, we can get into Forest Bias. It's still Black History Month. As we were having this conversation about like meaning and the context of words and stuff like that, I really wanted to bring up AAVE / Ebonics. I seen a lot of conversation this past week of educators. Well, not even just this past week. For months, they've been creating conversation about students, their abilities to learn, and like if they're at their proper level as far as like reading and mathematics and stuff. And so there was this one teacher, and she was saying that kids basically is stupid as fuck now, and they don't know what's going on. They can barely add and subtract and stuff. And I've seen a lot of teachers have messages like that. But then this other teacher, she stitched her, and she was like, I really don't know where this lady teaches that or anything, but I just feel like it's her mindset that's wrong. It was on a podcast having a conversation, and the dude said, I wasn't stupid. I was a smart kid, but the way that I was communicating with my teachers, they didn't accept that as a proper form of communication because I spoke slang or I spoke AAVE, and so they just treated him like he was dumb. When that's not the case. If you're going to be an educator, you work in like inner city schools, which basically means black and poor, then you need to be able to communicate on their level. You can't just assume that they're stupid or illiterate just because they communicate differently than you. AAVE is a language. It's a dialect of the English language. So just like, what I'm saying, you could be somewhere in the South and they could be saying shit and you could literally not understand what they're saying. It's no different than the hoods across America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even about living in the hood. It's about blackness. And that's the shared connection that we have in the way that we talk. And also, it's a result of slavery. What do you think happens when people can't read? What do you think happens when people are forced to not be able to read or communicate in their own native language? They learn broken English and they fucking can't read. They're illiterate. And so the way that they speak end up being not proper English. And so that's where it come from. Like, y'all are ridiculous.
Or just having to speak in code so people don't know what you're saying.
And I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
It's like, when we were doing 3 Strikes, we used to like go all out for Black History Month. Like every episode we would talk about different stuff. Like, one episode we had did, and it was like the actual meaning and context behind certain sayings and it actually being super racist or whatever. Like, how like when black people laugh and then we all start running away, like we be cracking up and then we start running away, and it seems like it's just so funny we can't contain ourselves when we gotta move. But in all actuality, it was like extremely frowned upon for black people to be even hanging out together, laughing, enjoying themselves, even post-slavery. And so that was the thing. They would just have to rush off before other people see them, because then they might say, oh, they're committing a crime, or they would say that they're trying to create a revolution or something. And it's like they literally just joking and having fun. But joking and having fun wasn't okay for black people, and nothing was funny.
Those niggers are starting a rebellion.
Exactly. And it's like, what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff people need to think about, that a lot of the thought process and ideals directed towards black people are rooted in racism and products of slavery. And so, as an educator, if you do not know how to speak AAVE, or you feel like it's below you feel like these kids is dumb and they just not talking properly a certain way, like there's not one way to speak.
And also, it sounds like you shouldn't be a teacher if you just thinking that these kids are dumb. Now, granted, there are some people everywhere that just, nobody was at home teaching you nothing. But even still, that's an opportunity to just teach.
Exactly. So. Or to get to know them and communicate, like understand on their level. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that you work with kids and feel like that. Everybody knows that. Even as a parent, you might have a kid that is 2 years old. You might have a kid that's 6 months. They can't even speak at all. But that you're communicating with them all day. You know what I'm saying? You don't be like, oh, this is a dumb baby. Like, stupid babies. That's teacher like Angelica for real. It's like, it's extremely ignorant. And then I feel like it was good, whatever podcast that was, that they were having this conversation and having these both perspectives. But I feel like it is very dangerous to have these conversations without both of those perspectives being spoke about, because then you're just preaching ignorance. You're spreading ignorance, which is that people who do not communicate speaking proper English are dumb or stupid or illiterate. And that's not the case. Is there issues about the quality of education in lower income areas? Yes. But it's not because the kids are stupid. It's because of the lack of resources.
And because y'all are just shoving them new information every other day, and who's going to retain that?
Exactly. Just so they could pass the test at the end of the year. That's if you in a testing state. Slang are really just synonyms. So if you don't understand the meaning of different words that mean the same thing, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you need to go back to school, bitch.
School hard knocks.
Girl. And then the other thing I want to really talk about was Sacred. Beyonce has started the push of her hair care line, which is called Sacred, and it's spelled like Beyonce. I thought that was funny, but okay, a little corny. But I do like the name Sacred. I just felt like it didn't have to be like Sacred. That's just me. I'm interested to see what ingredients are in these products, and I'm saying people's review of them and how it actually work with the hair care, because a lot of celebrities be putting out stuff. They put out makeup and hair care lines and stuff, and it ain't always the best. Yeah. Right now we trying out a brand. We'll let y'all know when we have a full review. I don't want to talk shit.
Especially given her latest.
Oh yeah, true that, and it's Black History Month.
Yeah.
Part of the rollout for Sacred, Beyonce had a spread in Essence, and she had like pictures with her mom and her daughters, and it was like she was discussing about how she grew up. Around her mom, who was a hairstylist, and she had an in-home hair shop. So all day she would be at home and her mom would be taking clients and stuff, and she just, to her, this was so in line with her branding. I guess the environment that she grew up in, she felt like it was in alignment with her brand to have a hair care line. Beyonce got a lot of hair, and it is beautiful. Which is another common misconception that needs to be deaded this month of Black History Month, is that Black women can't grow long natural hair.
Yeah. A lot of women that you see wearing wigs all the time, they have long hair under there.
Mm-hmm. I was scrolling YouTube, and then it wasn't Genius, but it was, how Genius does those lyric videos.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And it was like that, but it wasn't like a video of a whole song of the lyrics. It was just like a bar. Mm-hmm. And it was Mona Leo, and I forgot what song it was, but it basically was the song where she was talking about, if you ain't paying my wig, then I'm really wigging out. Mm-hmm. And so she was basically saying the context behind that bar. And the comments did not pass the vibe check, mostly because I feel like YouTube be trying to play us as Black content creators, sending our content to a lot of white audiences. Or even for us, I feel like sending our content to a lot of hetero people. And it's like they're never going to get or align with our message, so the comments never pass the vibe check.
Yeah.
And they was like, Black women always talk about how it's a protective hairstyle that makes no sense. Of course it doesn't make no sense to you. You don't even care about letting your hair dry before you walk outside. And I hate that. I hate that wet dog ass hair they be having.
One thing I can't stand is wet
It's
hair.
not a wash and go, baby. Y'all can't do wash and goes. I'm sorry.
Wash and frizz.
Ew. Sometimes they don't even put shampoo in it. They just wet it and keep going.
Oh. Shout out to our white listeners.
Tell us you ain't that kind though.
That kind.
Listen, because there's the kind that don't even wash below the legs.
Just let the soap run down.
Woo! That's crazy how many people was bringing that up in
I don't understand.
2020. Like,
If you feel like you have to scrub your dishes or your tub to clean it, what makes you think that you don't have to do that for your body?
Yeah. And part of washing up in the shower is not just about being clean, it's also exfoliation. Our body is covered in skin, okay? Everything is covered in skin, and we have to exfoliate. That's the purpose of using a washcloth, so that you're washing off those dead skin cells. And that's also why you need to fucking wash your washcloth and replace it every week or every few days, and have a separate washcloth from your face than your body. You know, this is things that are naturally taught in black households that a lot of white families just don't share those same values of hygiene and cleanliness. And it's just something that needs to be studied. Probably go back to slavery though. Just like childcare. We can move into the breaks. I've said enough. We'll let you know when we have an update on Sacred. This week, obviously, Beyonce dropped 2 new songs. She low-key petty for dropping those 2 songs, and the Super Bowl was barely over yet. Like, damn, can Usher get his minute to shine?
He'll be alright.
And she dropped country music, 2 new songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. You fucking with them?
I'm fucking with Texas Hold'em.
Everybody's fucking with Texas Hold'em. I'm more of a slow jam type of girl already, so I was fucking with the 16 Carriages.
I couldn't even tell you what that song was about.
I'll tell you, these AI remixes they making are hilarious. They're literally just taking regular Beyonce songs and then putting a couple nays on the background. I don't know what's going on. It's pretty funny, but I want y'all to stop.
Yeah.
Okay? It's very embarrassing, not for us, but for white people, because they're already banning her music on country stations, and it's Beyonce. You really think you can ban Beyonce? They already done made up 16 different line dances, and it's only 2 songs out.
This tour is gonna be so crazy.
She honestly was setting the scene with the country vibes of the Renaissance. Now I get it, you know what I'm saying? Because she was preparing us for real country shit. Which I think is cool, because people assume that black people are like a monolith. And there are all type of black people. There are country ass black people. There's city ass black people. Like, there's all different black people. There's mountain black people. Like, and people in the country, they're different. They different. And people might think, oh, that's some white people shit, but it's actually just some country shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is cool to really see that side of Beyonce, her country blackness. Love it.
Maybe she'll start interviewing us so we can hear her accent. Don't, though.
I don't think she's gonna start doing interviews. Beyonce's not going back to interviews. They fucked that up.
It's not a good idea, honestly.
Last time she did an interview was that one dude, and he was from the UK. She couldn't barely understand nothing he was saying. Do you remember that?
I seen a clip of that.
She was like, huh? She kept saying, huh?
Why they be putting them in those situations, though? That's
like,
so
come
fucked
on.
up.
Not, you got Pish Posh over here. We couldn't get somebody with a clear accent. Because, like, that's a different thing. Like, although English in the UK is still the same language technically as English in the US, it's not the same language. They got different words for shit. They don't... Chips
they speak
are
a whole
fries.
different language.
Chips are fries.
I hate when I'm at an American restaurant and when they say chips, they mean actual chips.
They be calling cookies biscuits, but biscuits are scones. Nothing makes sense over there.
Oh, I thought a scone was something specific. It's just a biscuit?
Yeah, but it's not just a biscuit. It's like a pastries like biscuits. You know what I'm saying? A scone.
Oh.
Yeah. Like croissants and like those are all scones. But then they croissants don't be soft and fluffy like ours. They be like hard, like a cookie.
That's crazy.
But shout out to Beyonce, because even though they trying to ban her from the radio station, she is making history as the first black woman to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. So shout out to you, girl. What I did appreciate about her dropping this music is that it put a spotlight on so many of the black people who already are, doing country music, and I thought that was lit. Because now you see all these people going viral on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, but they've been doing it, and I really do appreciate that. One of the newest artists that I found this week, her name is Tanner Adele. She got this song called like Buckle Bunny, and it's like, if I was a down south like farm like cowgirl type of chick, that would be my steez. It's like Hot Girl but for country girls, you know what I'm saying? I was like, shout out, girl, love that. But there's so many, and I feel like it's Black History Month. Go ahead and do your research. Listen to some new music that you've never heard before. I really don't fuck with country music for real. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's probably the whiteness of it that I don't fuck with.
I don't fuck with the sound. I'm gonna be honest. You gotta catch me. You gotta ease it in. You gotta do a nice fade in.
I need a country that sounds like it could also be an R&B song, like Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood, or Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Knocking, like by Shania Twain. Because one thing that a white country girl singer is gonna do is catch her man cheating.
That's wild.
Whose bed have your boots been knocking? I want to give y'all some Shania Twain facts, but it's Black History Month, so
yeah,
we'll see her again at
next
Music March. Also, Ariana Grande dropped Yes and a remix featuring Mariah Carey. What'd you think of it?
I tried to deny it, but it's giving my kind of vibe.
It is. It's giving definitely your type of vibe. It's giving the white side of like, what's that one girl you be listening to? That be doing voodoo and shit.
You can't intro it like that. First of all,
you know exactly who I'm talking about after I said it, though, do you not?
Azalea Banks makes... The music is good. I can't speak for anything outside of that. She's one of those people... She's like another side of Kanye. It started off as she was one of those people that was just too smart, so she needed to just be quiet because nobody knows what you're talking about. And then it just turned into mess and, you know.
It's a such thing as saying too much. Like, even with podcasting, sometimes I get nervous, like, about how much I'm sharing about myself, because at the end of the day, people are going to perceive you how they want to perceive you. Mm-hmm. And she might not be that bad of a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, genuinely, she might not be super annoying, or, you know what I'm saying, like, whatever people feel about her.
Yeah.
I was fucking with it. I was just actually talking about Mariah Carey today to Eva, because me and Cherry is on a mission to, like, really put them on to better music. And I don't want to say better music, like, music they listen to is shitty because it's what they like. But a lot of their music taste comes from, like, Fortnite and shit. Yeah, like, and so it's just not, like, it could be better. Yeah. I feel like I have a very eclectic music taste. I could be around almost anybody and enjoy music. And what I mean by that is, like, certain people usually listen to certain type of music. So I could be around almost anybody and, like, enjoy what they're playing. And I want Max and Eva to have that same vibe. Like, I want them to have listened to a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? Explored a lot of music. So I was telling them how iconic Mariah Carey is. I'm trying to think what song had came on, and I was singing at the top of my lungs while I was cooking dinner. And then this is what I had meant to tell you, is that Monty said that if Mariah Carey is in Chicago when she come to visit, that her boss is gonna get us tickets. Mm-hmm. It's so exciting.
Mariah concert.
I never seen Mariah in concert. She's pretty iconic.
Beautiful gowns.
I I mean, she's
No,
got more
she
than
is
beautiful
iconic,
gowns. Like,
for
come
real.
on, she's
Yeah.
iconic.
She's one of those people you can't really.
There's nothing to
deny.
debate. Yeah. There's nothing to debate. She's been iconic for so long. So that was cool to see her and Ariana Grande on a track together, seeing as that they have the highest range, I feel like, in the music industry, at least as celebrities that are most well known, because there are a lot of people who could sing, and we just don't know them. So I'm not saying she's like the best singer in the world, but she's has a really high pitch. My favorite song, well, my second favorite song this week right now is Yeah Glow by Glorilla. Love the video. I just love Glorilla.
Yeah, big glow.
I love her, man. She's so fun. Like, she seemed like she one of my little cousins and we'd be hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I love the video. Go check out the video. It's so cute. I love those videos when they be playing like different versions of themselves, because I feel like that's so relatable to me.
Yeah.
You
cold, baby?
Yeah, a little bit. It's starting to get cold because
shivering.
we got the heat off.
That's crazy.
Anicia dropped a freestyle today.
Up lit. Anicia's my home girl. That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's the homie.
The song is cool. I don't know if I really enjoy the song, but what I will say is the more music that I hear of hers, I really enjoy her sound. Because it's really different than a lot of, especially female rappers right now. And it feels relatable to me, that monotone energy. Because, like, the girls who get it. Like,
it just
I don't need
adds
to get too excited. I'm just,
Yeah,
I love that.
The player for me.
It's real laid
like,
back.
Yeah, let these hoes know.
I love a stoner bitch too. That's my favorite rap bitch right now. When I see him rolling up in the music video, my nigga. You know, I always wanted to be a video vixen. If you need some extras, hit me up. I won't be shaking no booty though. I'm too old to be twerking in the music video. Should have got me when I was like younger. Has anything came out for you this week that had you excited?
J-Lo dropped her new album, This Is Me Now. It's a sequel to This Is Me Then. And I had a good time. I think I listened to all but maybe the last track or the last two tracks. But
you enjoyed it? You think I would like it or no? I don't know. I think I'm too far gone to enjoy J-Lo. It might not be the music. It's just her specifically. She aggravates the fuck out of me. I don't think
you'll be able to enjoy it. But I had a good time. The production's really good. All throughout the album, it's like just different sounds from the time when the first album came out. So it like puts you back there. It's a vibe.
Back with it. Okay. She also is releasing a movie. This Is Me Now on Amazon Prime.
I still don't want to see that.
I don't really understand what it's about. My cousin sent me the link and we both honestly just laughed about it for 30 minutes because who asked for this? But apparently Amazon Prime, because she got a deal with them. She didn't drop like 3 movies last year with Amazon Prime.
Yeah, people love J-Lo.
You sent me this and I was like honestly really excited about this. Total Meditation, Lil Jon and Kabir Sagal. I love me a good meditation album. I mean, I honestly see myself as like a meditation queen. So I was like, this is raw. I love Lil Jon. I have a special place for him in my heart, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. Did I ever tell you that when I was in boot camp, we used to like say Lil Jon?
I think so.
Yeah. It's like when you in Navy boot camp, I don't know if they still do this because telling my age, but they like, they will allow you to have like a little freedom so that you can have like sayings for stuff. So like anytime we had to get up or sit down, we would be like, yeah. And then if we had to sit down, we'd be like, okay. It was so fun and cute. I love that. But yeah, Lil Jon is honestly iconic, not only for his contributions to music, but all the shit that he do outside of music. Like, he was doing the house flips. He had a whole show. What was that on?
I don't remember, but
It actually is a good show. Yeah.
They like renovating houses.
This off topic, but I have been wanting to bring this up for weeks. But have any of y'all seen Password, the new Password with Keke Palmer?
Oh, the game show.
It's like one of my favorite shows right now. It's like a guilty pleasure, even though I have no reason to feel guilty about it.
It's a really funny show.
Yeah, it really is a funny show. And Keke Palmer is so entertaining. And she received an Emmy for it, right? What? Emmy's TV,
know.
right? Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know.
She received a daytime TV Emmy for it or something. Dreezy dropped this week, which some of us were excited about. Bitch Da. I feel like you've been waiting for her to come out for a long time, and so now you kind of just like, all right, damn.
I just don't take this the wrong way, Dreezy. I just want you to keep going to the studio. I enjoy your music, and I would like to have more of it and not a single every 3 years. I want another album.
It seemed like she might be gearing up to give us that, though. I'm going to be honest. And
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think she just playing with us. She just got in the studio and did something cute. She was like, let me just show these hoes that I still got bars. We know you have bars.
I mean, she got other singles. She dropped that other song a few months ago with, oh girl, see me watching on my page. One of my people. What's her name? That song was like viral on TikTok as a TikTok sound. The Lady London, is that her name? See me working on, what she say, lurking on my page. Better watch me flow. That's what I was saying.
Oh. Yeah, I think that is her name.
Yeah. And the video was super cute. I didn't like the song, I'm gonna be honest with you, but the video was very cute because they did like a Destiny's Child like montage.
Yeah.
Every scene was like a different Destiny's Child video, and I thought that was very cute and innovative, and just I love a nice little throwback.
Not enough people talked about that video.
I mean, would they though? Ooh, 333. And then, do you got anything for music of the week?
My music.
Per.
What's the name of my song? What You Need. It's been a minute. Also check out my YouTube. You know, I got some behind the scenes and all that jazz. Cherry galore. I come right up.
You should drop the sound channel too in the description.
Oh, it's in there.
Okay. If you guys are ever looking to meditate or just want like, you know, background noise, peaceful sounds, even sleep music.
Oh, you mean that page?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't think I put that in the description, but I can.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, if you into that, like, white noise or rain or whatever, stuff that's good for sleeping or meditation, I have a channel for that called Hearing Sounds.
Super dope. I love that.
What about you?
My music of the week is Skrilla Baby, the song Bay. I love that song. I just feel like it make me feel like a bad bitch. And I love when niggas be like hyping up their girl on the song or whatever. Like, I love that. He's like, you know what I'm saying? You know, Bay, you know you fine.
Yeah.
He be telling me about the different hairstyles. I was like, he got 16 sisters. Because what do he know about this? I'm going to be honest with you, though. Men who grow up around a lot of women, they know how to take care of women. And I don't mean that, like, just, like, emotionally or, like, in a relationship sense. Like, actually, like, physically. Like, my brother, he could do it quickly. He'll be fucking around. Okay?
Shout out to him.
Because when you grow up around a lot of women, you be seeing shit. You be observing.
I didn't learn a damn thing.
Well, you
when
gotta
it
be
came
around
to
the
that.
ones that was doing it. Okay, I'm sorry if you live
They was doing their hair. That's the thing. I had all the opportunity, but girl,
was they doing their hair or was they going to get their hair done? Because that's two different things also.
both. And I'm just sitting in the chair.
Sometimes I be coming for y'all because I be like thinking y'all live like a high life, like, you know what I'm saying, like. If
What
you
you
go
mean?
get your hair done regularly, you probably don't know how to do your hair. But if you don't have no choice but to learn how to do your hair, then you know how to do your hair. It's like those girls who are everything girls, which I'm low-key one of them, but I'm like rebuking that in the name of Jesus because I don't want to do everything no more. But like, I could do my own hair. I could do my own nails. I could do my own skincare.
Yeah. I got to a point where I had to do my hair. And I said, snip, snip, lock, lock. I didn't learn how to flat iron my hair until college. And it was not great.
Wow. That's crazy, girl. I think by the time I was in 6th grade, I was doing my own ponytails. By the time I was in 7th grade, I was braiding my hair.
So, I could barely get a ponytail right. They used to hurt, though.
A fake ponytail?
Oh, no, I mean, just putting my hair in a ponytail.
Where I'm from, when I say get a ponytail, it alludes to the fact that it's not your hair.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, what are you making time for this week? Sleep?
As much as I can, I guess.
Yeah. I'm making time for selling these Girl Scout cookies. I need these bitches out of our living room. So, you know, if you're local, I mean, obviously if you're not local, you feel free to put in an order online. But if you are local, that would be more helpful. And so we could deliver the cookies to you. So, yeah. But I'm proud of Eva. She did really good this week, making her little sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm making time for.
Make time for those sales.
Well, without further ado,
I've got time. You sound so aggressive.
Me?
You just came in hot. I've got time.
Girl, you want to do it again?